magic wand thing up top?
No, lost track.
No, he stepped away for a minute. But yeah, it might be too late now, bro.
What about leave and come back?
You can try.
Shit, I think that's what I did last time. Real quick.
I'm trying to get a background like y'all. Y'all got to show me how to do that.
Time is ticking, player.
Let me rejoin. Now I can do it.
You can do it now?
Nope, no, you give me use a second camera. Nope. Oh yeah, I got the one. Boom. I can do it now.
All right, then you might have to turn your phone up so you can hear.
Well, it's to the max right now.
It's to the max. Yeah, and you on the phone right now too, so that's a whole other thing. Yeah, I got two phones.
Okay, I'm about to get off the phone then.
Yeah, let's go, buddy. Time is of the essence.
All right. Okay, I'm hanging up, bro.
All right, all good. Look, Trez ready to go, bro. He ready to go. He ready to rock and roll.
I'm trying to get like y'all, man. I'm trying to get like y'all.
Man.
I'm trying to get like y'all.
I wish it was easy. I ain't even gonna lie.
Y'all making it look good for sure. That's all that matter. And doing the work. Because I feel like for a long time I was having a problem with putting stuff out because I wanted it to be perfect. You know what I mean? So,
that's my issue.
Yeah, we can't do that, bro. We just got to work.
Gotta work. That's what my old lady said. You always want everything to be perfect. It ain't gonna be perfect. Just get out there and get it done, and you fix it later.
Yeah, that ain't.
Man, look.
For sure.
What? I hate to say it like this, but when we dealing with our own people, if it ain't on point, they don't give us no slack.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta come correct, because if not, they're gonna talk about you.
No, you ain't lying. That's why we gotta just keep getting better.
Keep getting better and better, yes, sir.
That's all we can do is keep getting better.
100%. All right, Bo, let's start this off, man. Time is ticking. You can't hear me?
What? You can't hear? Oh, you got to get it together, bro. Because you told me 5:30. You told me 5:30. Thank you. Over here trying to get this podcast rolling. You told me 5:30, bro. Now I'm finna charge you. Bro. The audio ain't right. You got big bro need to help you with the background. Come on, man.
Hey, look down at the bottom, Bo. You see the little microphone?
I gotta get your number, man. Can you teach me how to do that background? Cause that's clean. I like how y'all got that.
Oh man, yeah. You got. I mean, you're a photographer. I know you got Photoshop, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just get your
But I'm saying, how do we put it on here to be like my background now?
Save it as an image and then you import it.
Okay, and where would I put that in right now?
So.
Cause I got that right now.
Oh, you got that right now?
Yeah, I got that right now. Where that's at?
You'll have to do like Bo.
There we go.
You'll have to back out, and then when you in the little thing before you hit join, there's a
yeah, no, we ain't gotta do all that. I know next time. It ain't that serious. Y'all see it? I got it in here a little bit.
Yeah, it's in there.
I see it.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I see it. So.
Hey, Trash, so what we gonna do is I'm gonna introduce me and D, right? as the host, and then we're gonna introduce you, right? But what I want to know is, what would you like me to call you though? You know what I'm saying? You want me to call you by your government?
Call me DJ, man, and keep it as that, man. Treasure Visions is the brand, man. I'm still a person, man.
Yeah. So okay, there you go. That's all I wanted to know. So
for sure.
The introductions is made, right? Or you got any questions?
I ain't gonna lie. I guess you are gonna have to. Now I'm thinking about it. I heard myself say that. You probably are gonna need to say DJ, aka Treasure Visions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I might as well just put that in there just for the clarity. But yeah, I hear you. But I don't got no questions. I'm ready to rock, man. I feel like as we vibing, it'll just go.
Yeah, it's gonna flow.
I just my only thing is just I ain't with, and I don't even need to tell y'all this, but I just not with none of the drama. Feel me? That's all. That's the only thing with me. I don't care about none of the gossiping. I don't want to talk about no man, and you know what I mean, or none of that. I'm not loving hip hop.
Tell you straight up, Trash man. This is right here. We just strictly, you getting your brand out. I don't know. Bo gonna ask you a couple questions. I'm gonna ask you some questions, and it's all about business. It
for
ain't
sure.
About no streets. It ain't no. It ain't nothing that's going.
And if I say you don't even gotta, you ain't gotta even explain, bro. Cause I wouldn't even have been here if I felt like that. I've been seeing y'all, man. I like what y'all doing, man. So that's why I'm here. Cause I want to be a part of it.
Right on. And I just want to tell you that picture that you took of my cousin Joanne.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I be trying to show love in the area, man.
Yeah, I said, man, you got to run that picture so I can put it on my society page, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow that up for you, man, for letting me get on the podcast. I can make it a canvas for you.
Oh man, hey, look.
Let me know what picture you talk about. Let me know what picture you talk about. I'm gonna get that for you.
He got on that black hoodie that say Loyal Society.
Okay. You talking about G? Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna blow that up for you. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Know how much it costs, man, so I can break you off on that too, though.
For sure.
Hey, it's business, man.
It's branding too, man. It's branding too. That's why I said that's how I market, bro. When y'all get to asking me these questions, y'all ain't gonna believe how I start doing what I was doing.
Yeah, but that's what I already know. You got a cold backstory, man, and like we was talking earlier, right? The people need to hear that, like, cause we got the same background, you know what I'm saying? So like I was saying, the transition is, and people seeing it and seeing us doing it, like you just said, you just got off the phone with a couple of the homies, you know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure,
people seeing us do it, and that shit gonna make them want to do it. You know
for sure,
what I'm saying?
and not even make them want to do it, but feel like they can. That's the most important part for me. I feel like we get frustrated because things don't be going right, and then we go back to the common. You know what I mean? And that's why I was explaining to my boy. I was like, man, bro, I did my first year, bro, and I feel like I did 98% of everything right, and I still wasn't straight. So I'm like, don't be pressuring yourself to be on your feet, after you just walked off 10, 15 years. You know what I mean? It's going to take time. So,
it's going to take time.
I don't know, just understanding that.
You know what? Let's get into it because I'm ready, though. You know what I'm saying? It's this conversation that we having, the people need to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, DJ, a.k.a. Treasure Vision. DJ is the name. Treasure Vision is the brand. Got it. So just... Nah, we finna get into it right now.
Let's get into it, man. Time's ticking. I got to get up at 5 a.m, man.
Oh, my God. You got my guy up late. Let's go, man.
Here we go. The countdown coming. What's up, my Unstoppable people? Yes, indeed. It's me, Shiny Bo, and my brother D, the co-hostess with the mostest. Today, we have a young and up-and-coming entrepreneur. Been doing this thing for a minute. I remember I met him a few years ago when he was just walking around with the camera, man. DJ, a.k.a. Treasure Vision. How you doing, DJ?
I'm good, man. Thank you guys for having me, man. Shout out to both of y'all, man. I'll just tell y'all before we started, I've been seeing y'all work, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Yeah. We appreciate you for hopping on, coming to bless the podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
And And I just want to say, like, I appreciate you for being brave and bold enough to step out there because you're trying to push what you're doing out there. And that's what we're trying to encourage everybody to do, that hop on, come on here and talk about what you got going. So, first and foremost, right, we want to hear a little bit about yourself, how you got started with the camera and your passion for it, and when you decided to turn it into a business.
Um, Man, I'm a PA baby. Only reason I ain't got the East Palo Alto hat on, shout out to my boy Guap, because I'm doing this podcast. And rocking with y'all, I gotta try to keep it lit. Shout out to SOS Printing for me, because he keep me right. I got sweaters, I got everything, bro. Make sure he always get me in the game. So whenever I'm popping out, I get to wear my stuff, and it's funny because I don't gotta worry about wearing all the designer because I'm my own designer. You know what I mean? But I'm a cameraman, man, but I'm an artist. And I was actually telling my friend the other day that I want to give myself a birthday gift and drop an album. That's an exclusive, man. Y'all the first to hear that, man. I'm thinking about dropping an album in the next couple of months. But man, I got into it on an accident. And even speaking of music, I was actually at a AAU tournament today at Ultimate Fieldhouse in Walnut Creek. And it's tight because they be having like 5, 6 courts going at one time, so it's kind of dope. But anyway, I seen a cameraman up there, and I was talking to him, and I was telling him like, man, it's crazy because I started messing with the camera because I wanted to do music videos, and y'all wouldn't believe me, like I ain't never did a music video, and I don't plan on doing one. You know what I mean? Like I didn't found another lane. You can't pay me to do a music video. It ain't worth it. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like in a different lane and appreciating that. I got started on a fluke, man. Shout out to my boy JP. I didn't have a camera. I was borrowing somebody's camera for like 6, 7 months. My boy JP would just force feed it to me, like, bro, you ain't doing nothing. You working? You ain't working. He just tried to, get me motivated, keep me out the way. And man, my first photo shoot was my boy. I was actually in a pen with him. Oh, I'm messing up right now. Sharks. I'm messing up. My bad, bro. My bad. I'm gonna have to fix that. But I did his Brandon shoot that day, and it ended up not even working. It was my first time. We shot in San Jose by the statue where the dude had the black glove on. And long story short, in the Olympics, from the Olympics. I can't think of his name right now.
San Jose State.
Yes, sir. San Jose State.
That guy from San Jose, though, right?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. Okay. But anyway, he had when we did the shoot, bro, it was my first time. I didn't really know what I was doing, and the lighting wasn't great, right? So we kind of just like chalked it up, like, man, we're gonna reschedule and do it again. And I got to walking around. I'm in San Jose. I Ubered over there, mind you. I don't even got a car. So I get to walk around, so I don't feel like I wasted my Uber. You know what I mean? So I'm walking around just trying to take pictures of the area or whatever. And once I get done, I'm like, man, I'm finna get me some coffee and Uber back home. And man, I walked into this place called Nirvana Soul in downtown San Jose. And bro, it's black owned, two sisters, coffee shop. They do open mics. It's people in there doing poetry, raps. It was motherfuckers in there practicing their college term papers. You know what I mean? It was all kind of energy, all kind of vibes. Everybody was beautiful. You know what I mean? I ain't never walked in a place like that and felt so welcome. You know what I mean? I really loved that and fell in love with that space. But long story short, that turned into me like supposed to get coffee, and I end up staying like the whole. I go on the day that they have the open mic on the fluke, and I end up staying for the whole session and like taking pictures of people. Right? I think I recorded like 2 videos. It was this girl singing; she was going crazy. And then, last but not least, not the bartender, the guy that's serving the coffee, came from behind and closed out and got up there gassing. And I was like, oh my God, I just found my new spot. I'm finna get content. And man, I was going there every week for like 4 or 5 months. And that's kind of how it started. Man, then next you know, all my family is tied into sports. I got like 3, 4 relatives that actively coach. My grandpa is a legendary coach. So I've been around sports a long time. So I'm like, hey, my uncle coaching. You know, I know some people. I'm gonna just go slide up and support. And man, me showing support ended up just getting a lot of feedback. Not even a lot of feedback. A lot of I would say love in return. And it got to a point where people were like stopping me, like, "Hey, bro, if you just get pictures of number 20 something, I'm gonna send you some money right now." So I'm like, okay, I could actually do something with this. You know what I mean? So I'm going to the game regardless because I'm having fun. But if y'all gonna pay me, now I can make sure I get the little clips of whoever, and I can go about my business for me. But it's beautiful, bro. I don't feel like I'm working when I'm out there shooting. Like the basketball games, like if I let y'all hear the audio before I edit it, I'm yelling louder than the parents. A ref asked me today, man, who your son? Ref asked me today, man, who your son? I'm like, I ain't got no kids out here. You know what I mean? Like, I just fuck with basketball. I love this shit. For me, you know what I mean? I love what I do. So and it feel good. Like I say, to not have to try hard. I'm gonna tell y'all this one thing, and I'm gonna let y'all go with that. My favorite thing about the camera, is it's disarming, right? And what I mean by that is, if I walk up to you as me, I'm handsome, but I don't know how handsome you think I am. Feel me? So you might, I be having hoodies on. You might be a little defensive naturally. You know what I mean? And I'm black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but if I walk up to you with a camera, you might want to smile. You might want to pose. You might want to get the dancing and all that. And it's a conversation starter. So I went from being somebody that people maybe shied away from or had questions about to actually want to open themselves up, no matter what form that would be. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see men smile that never smile when I see them out, with me in the streets. But when they with their families or whatever, it's like it's a different person. You know what I mean? They in that moment. Speaking of that picture you was talking about, I actually got 3, 4 pictures at that event. Um, where there was like generations, a grandpa, a son, and a grandson. You know what I mean? So I was hella juiced about them, and I'm like, yeah, them gonna hit. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's something I take a lot of pride in, man. And like I said, I'm grateful for the camera because, like I say, I learned that it was a way for me to get indoors because it was disarming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was disarming.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's meaning like you walking up with a camera, so they looking at you as the cameraman. They don't really see
That you know what I'm here to do. You know what I'm here to do. I'm here for nothing else but to capture.
Yeah. Super approachable. You making it, like you say, easy on the eyes. They ain't gotta wonder. Even if you in a hoodie, they see the camera around your neck. They know exactly what you come to do. And that's a good thing though, right? And like we was talking earlier before you even went to the game, right? And I want to touch on your drive though, right? And you was just saying something about you seen the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nobody doing this, right? And a lot of people can't do that, right? They can't see the opportunity and don't see nobody. You don't see nobody over there doing it. So you're not reluctant to do it as well because a lot of people like to follow people, but you chose a lane that you seen was wide open, right? It's wide open over here. Nobody's over here. You know what I'm saying? And then when you chose it, you start attacking. You know what I'm saying?
I actually remember the conversation. Excuse me, that you was talking about. Where I said that we or I don't work like I don't work for the money. You know what I mean? Even though I'm gonna get paid. You know what I mean? I see value in something. I'm gonna just go do it because I can see myself getting paid from the work I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? I don't need nobody to pay me to get off my ass. You know what I mean? So it's like I look at something it'll be 5 things I could do on a Saturday. And I just pick the one that has most value to my brand. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And I might not have no incentive to go other than me just seeing something valuable in my brand. And then as I'm doing it, I'll be there and somebody will come stop me and be like, hey bro, I like what you're doing. Can I get some of them? You know what I mean? I'm like, you ain't even seen the work yet. Like, man, I can see how you shooting that you serious. You know what I mean? And putting yourself out there has been the key for me for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I mean by like a attack mode. You present, you know what I'm saying? You intentional with your movements when you you, like I said, you didn't see nobody out there like doing that. You like, man, you took the opportunity and you kind of just bid on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not easy for a lot of people to do. So I hopefully by them hearing that, what you're saying is, I hopefully it encourage people. You know what I'm saying, to blaze their own trail, right?
For sure.
And D, you got any questions for him?
Man, I like what he's saying, man, and it's really true though. By us being African American or whatever, and you just out and about with your hoodies on. You see people crossing the streets, whatever, but you can have that same hoodie on, and you got that camera with you. And it's a whole different world, man. And the thing about it, like you said, that camera is disarming. So it's just like, okay, he ain't posing no threat. But then also with that camera, you can get some real downright, them candid. I don't want to say where you just snap some. You out there, you just you get that candid pic that nobody ain't even really tripping off of, and it's like, okay, I got that, I got this. This looking cool. And what is your best shot that you get out there when you just doing your thing, man?
I ain't gonna lie. I be like, I'm always looking for a dad with a kid. I'm always looking for a dad with a little baby. You know what I mean? Or even if it's a mom with a little baby, but I'm looking for like, I don't know, cause it's something about how people smile with their kids. You know what I mean? It's just a different thing. I obviously like to catch them in action. You know what I mean? But that's probably the only picture that I actually appreciate that's posed for. But if you are to pay attention to my pictures, most of them are like action, like candid shots. You know what I mean? Because
And the shots, yeah.
my favorite picture is when you walk into the house and you see that auntie that you ain't seen in hella long, and y'all both, you know what I mean, and lose it. You know, that's my favorite picture. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to capture that. I'm looking for that. I'm down there standing at the door when people is coming in. I'm trying to see who's gonna give me that best reaction so I can get that picture. I'm sniping for them. You know what I mean? Them is my best shots.
Man, hey, those right there, you say that those are those memorable moments, right? It's like, man, I remember when, you could be sitting somewhere. I remember I walked in the kitchen, auntie was over them potted greens, and I ain't seen her in so long, and you got that memory, but when you got that picture is lasting forever. That's when you sitting in the family room, like my grandmother had, man, them big old thick photo albums, and you flipping through there and you seeing, man, look at me when I was a baby. Oh man,
Oh, everything.
don't
For sure, for
those
sure.
the ones that light up your life right there, man.
For sure,
So
for
I
sure.
appreciate that, but I'm gonna flip it on you. Now you say you do AAU. I coached AAU for some years, man, and we seen some stuff, got some stuff on camera. How much different is that right there? Because I mean, you got to be flowing, and
I'm gonna
then
keep it
you got to have
real.
the right equipment for that too, right? Because and I'm gonna ask you this one. You got to have that right setting. I don't want you to give your secrets out, but you got to have that right setting because you get the kids with that crossover and you want to get them with that lean with it or whatever. How's that totally different?
I'm gonna keep it real, man. And I admit this to everybody I be around. Like, I'm trying to get better at basketball. I'm more comfortable with football. I feel like I know how to shoot football good, but basketball it's so shifty. The ball goes different ways. Like in football, the ball is going one way unless it's a pick six. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In basketball, it might be you. I get shook by hezzies all the time. I might somebody get me with a hezzy every time. You know what I mean? If it's nice enough, I'm already seeing him going and he stops. So I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? So what I learned from that is like I try and I don't mind like studying other people, you know what I mean? So this one dude was saying like, stop trying to get the perfect shot. And the perfect shot is just when you got it in frame like just perfectly. Sometimes you have to do it in post and just crop there. You know what I mean? So it got to be more wide. Instead of you trying to be so zoomed in, just come out a little bit and then do that shit in post. For me, so it sucks to do it, but unless I'm really having a good day, I won't. I try to be a discipline with that. For me, but as far as settings, I have these LUTs that I need to really step my game up on that I just be using that I have them basically for certain sports. You know what I mean? And I just gotta adjust it a little bit, but I have a LUT that I could just put on it, and it just makes it kind of easy for me. For me, that way I could do multiple videos. For me, because I'm not really doing long form videos. You know what I mean? I'm doing like just the clip. You know what I mean? So I just get it to where the shit is seeable. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, boom, I'm good. I just try to make it as clear as or colorful as possible, though.
There you, hey, I hear you, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, it's an art to it, man. I'm not a photographer, but I got a nice little camera, and I used to be out there, and I'd be like, oh man, that look good, at man, and I go back and throw that sucker in in Photoshop or what's the other one?
I mean, all of them are good, man, and I feel like this. I'm happy you brought that up, right? And I want to bring this up for musicians too. Uh, and musicians, the word is DAW. Is it Pro Tools? Is it Reason? Is it, you know what I mean, Logic? Whatever you use, whatever you comfortable with, whatever platform you like and can play with, use it. Same thing with the Photoshop stuff. If you like Photoshop, Lightroom, if you like Premiere Pro, or if you like CapCut, you know what I mean, rock with what you gonna rock with. Some people got Final Cut Pro if they got MacBooks. Like I don't feel like there's a perfect app to edit on. For me, I just feel like the one that makes you most efficient. For me, because right now it's getting to a point where I don't even really have to do too much because they got Opus Clip. Have y'all been using Opus
You just
Clip?
put me on something new right there with that.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Oh,
I'm
what?
looking for new apps.
Man, so we need to. Y'all need to
I'm a Photoshop. I'm an Adobe dude, man. Everything.
listen.
I got it.
Listen. Y'all finna get off of this thing and go on Opus Clip, right? Y'all gonna put this thing in here. It's gonna be, let's say it's 30 minutes, right? Y'all finna put this thing in here, and it's gonna break down however you want it. It'll give you 30-second clips, 1-minute clips, 3-minute clips, and it'll take it 10 minutes. It's gonna put captions for you. All you gonna have to do is pick what kind of font you want, pick what kind of color you want. And if you want to put some B-roll in it, it'll put some images in it to go over what your voice is saying. It'll try to line up. You know, it ain't gonna be perfect, but it's gonna do what it's gonna do. Opus Clip. I'm finna text it to y'all right now. That's all I use.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as my
Music
content is good, I can use Opus Clip because I don't have to worry about. I ain't trying to sell nothing. You know what I mean? It's just the fucking truth. You know what I mean? So it's like if I just put the truth out in bits, for me, I'm gonna let them get it as they get it. For me, I don't have to super over edit that. It's just real.
Yeah.
See, that's what I love, man. My man ain't gatekeeping, man. Look,
Nah, hell no. Opus Clip, man.
gang.
Opus Clip. Opus
He
Clip.
giving it back. Hold on.
He giving
Wait,
it back.
first, man. Check this out. We gotta rewind this a little bit, man. We just right into the meat of this. Hey,
I'm sorry,
man, you
on
know
my
what?
eyes.
Let the people know what what is treasure vision,
Yeah, yeah.
man. Let the people know what is treasure vision, man.
Oh man.
Right now, but hey, what's
It's been I've had so many people make, you know, their own little thing about it, and I just feel like, you know, it's not really even on just a picture thing, but just like capturing what's important to you, feel me? Because everything is not important to me that's important to you, feel me? So it's just like we all got a vision for me, and I'm trying to be a guy that's gonna help you to allow you to treasure it. You know what I mean? However that's gonna be, feel me? Rather we having a conversation and I'm trying to motivate you, feel me? Rather we doing a podcast and I'm sitting down with you and asking you to manifest some stuff. We collabing on something, whatever. Like I'm looking super forward to, you know, sitting down with y'all and actually doing it, you know, all of us together in one space, for me, and showing y'all really how Opus Clip get down. Opus Clip is crazy, for me, but yeah, Treasure Visions, man, is me trying to be a partner in capturing what's important, man.
Oh, I love it, bro. I love it, man.
I want to say something real quick because I just seen my guy. I want to shout him out. His name is Denzel Mercado. Uh, man, just dinner making me emotional. Think about it. He just got a offer. He played wide receiver in DB from Logan High, right? And I was thinking about it not too long ago because you know, like I said, he just got his little commitment or whatever, and I got a clip of him. It was in a playoff game, right? And he got like the game winning touchdown. It was like 6 seconds left or whatever, right? And in the clip, you could hear me crying. You could hear me crying at the end, right? And what I want to speak to and really speak to Treasure Visions is like, I watched that dude grind. You know what I mean? He like super in the gym, practice before practice. He do push-ups and you got to throw the tennis ball at him with one hand. And he nuts. Like, you know what I mean? So I understood why he was successful for me. And it made me cry because I understood through him what hard work can get you for me. And in that moment, bro, he got that touchdown. I was like, My mama even called me. She's like, "Well, I heard you crying in the background." I'm like, man, like, don't do me like that, man. That was my guy, man. Shout out to Denzel, man.
My bad, Joe. I got something in my eye. I gotta keep.
Right now.
We gotta call his mom too.
I don't wanna, man.
Oh man.
It's all right, bro, man. We real men, baby. You can
For
cry,
sure, man. Allergies kicking
Nah,
in. D, don't do that. Allergies kicking in, D. Them allergies.
Allergies kicking in.
Them allergies, man.
Hey, but nah, though. I just want to piggyback and just say, like, I knew this was gonna be great information. I knew that this was gonna be a great interview, right? And I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but I talked to you a few times, right? And I also follow you and I watch you. And I also watched the 50th birthday party you shot, post up 50th birthday party, right? With the Law Society zip up that Dwayne had on, right? I watched you get people speak into a mic that I never seen speak before, right? I also watched how vivid the shots were, right? The sounds in the background, right? Every single thing. I'm sitting there. I was working overtime. That's why I wasn't there. I was at work, right? I was working at night. And I'm sitting there watching this, right? And just by, let alone, that's my dog, post up, is like mine. That's what we call each other, right? But I'm sitting there watching the video, right, that you shot, right, with him, Joanne, Dub in there, right? I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm just like, in post up dad, I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, man, I want to be there. You know what I'm saying, though? Because it was so vivid, and it looked like it was so much fun. You made everything come alive. From the people speaking.
Appreciate you, man.
Through the colorful park around, right? You know what I'm saying? You making it come alive. You making it vivid. So that's the difference between a person just shooting and a professional, right? And in the trade, like I'm in the trade, they paying for your skill, right? You learn how to master that thing, right? And I just want to tell you that it's phenomenal, right? And
Appreciate
I even
you,
have
man.
seen you doing. I was watching you on Instagram, right? I'm seeing you shoot those Logan games and being at the games, right? I'm seeing your journey through your IG, right? So that one day I came up to you and I was like, man, my son need exposure because he wasn't going to
For sure.
He wasn't going to no school that was on the
I
radar.
remember.
I'm like, yeah, I was like, man, I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to. Like he catch like a couple dunks or something, right? So we can put it out there for him. But what I'm saying is, because I seen that, I seen that, I'm like, hey, I want to hire this guy. So that goes to show you that, hey, you handling your business. You feel me?
Man, and I feel like I want to piggyback on that real quick, and speak to that. And I feel like I work as I do, so I can earn my voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't talk to nobody if I ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, bro, it sound good. It sound good, but if I'm stepping like that, I can be like, hey, bro, this is why I go over here for free because I know by the time I leave, somebody finna send me some chicken. You know what I mean? Like, and I can't tell nobody that if I can't show the receipts. You know what I mean? So I go get the receipts, and then sometimes I don't even got to go get them because you're seeing it on my page. You know I ain't just at all these places for fun. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm making something happen for me. So now, after so long, I could be able to come to you and like, hey, bro, this is how I'm doing it. And you might respect where I'm coming from compared to when it's just an idea for me. So, and I really got that from trying to have a, like a mentor kind of thing with my little brother. Like, man, I know I ain't be able to tell him what to do because nobody could tell me what to do. So I'm like, I'm going to show him. You know what I mean? And just trying to be a guy of action for me when I'm out here moving in all facets.
And I like that because that's something my mom used to tell me when I was raising my boys, right? And I'm like, I was one of the parents. I was like how me and D dad was, right? Our dad was like, nah, you gonna do what I tell you to do, right?
Yeah.
But it's different times. Those was the olden days, right? Those the days how they was raised and this and that. Like kids have too much information, too much stuff coming in. They're mental. They seeing it faster. So if you're not hitting, right, they gonna go somewhere else where it's hitting at. And we was also talking about the accountability situation, right? And it helped me when we was just talking earlier about, like you said, holding yourself accountable, right? Or somebody else having an accountability partner, right? And that's all kind of what ties into it, because if somebody's holding you accountable, they keeping you in check, right? And they ain't trying to boss you around. They just trying to tell you, like, man, you slipping a little bit. Let's get it. You feel me? Let's go. Get you like back on track, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you something else, because this is a question that I ask a lot, right? And it has a lot to do with tying into being unstoppable, right? So the question I like to ask people is this: what type of adversity did you face along the journey to getting to this point, right? What type of adversity did you face, and what did you tell yourself, or what did you do to even overcome the adversity, if there was any?
Man, that's a heavy question. I love it. Because I feel like my story is requiring a heavy answer almost. Um, First, I feel like the main adversity was coming home from prison
Okay.
after all that time. I did 12 years. So coming home and, man, how do you describe it? Coming home and wanting to be positive or wanting to have a dream, it's a little immature, inappropriate for my age. You know what I mean? I need to come home, get a job, and whatever. And I did that for a little bit, but I just felt so little. I felt
Yeah.
so little, man. I was like, man, I could be doing way more than this.
Yeah.
And one day I just quit my job. Um, and that was the thing that kind of like forced me to like get serious about it. But
Mhm.
I would say with the camera, the adversity, bro,
Mhm.
was knowing that I was on to something, but not
Mhm.
having nothing to show for it.
Yeah. That's the
That
hard part.
that was hard.
Yeah.
You could get 1,000 thank yous, but that shit don't pay the bills. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like after so long, even my family is looking at me like, "What are you doing?" You know what I mean? What are you doing? Like, where is this going? Is you still like, this ain't no, like, you ain't a kid. You know what I mean? You ain't got time to be out here having fun and shit. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
at a certain point, you got to start, making it real. And I still didn't figure it out, even after having them conversations. It took me, I'll say it to about right now. I'll say about 6 months ago, I really started getting consistently some nice chicken. You know what I mean? Like, and really what it was I was noticing people were saying yes to my prices too fast. You know what I mean? It was
Mhm.
like, man, like,
So
just after so long, somebody ended up telling me, like, bro, what did you charge him? You know what I mean? And, I was telling them, they're like, oh, yeah, you playing. You out there all day. You got to go home, get on the computer. Like, they to get your issue. You know what I mean? Because they're
yeah.
going to go somewhere else and spend it. So it's like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I deserve it, man. I deserve it. I
You
do the
gotta set
work.
your price.
I
Yeah.
be out there, man. I show up, and I show up even when I'm not paid. You know what I mean? So when it's time to give you my issue, it really shouldn't be no problem. But going back to the question, bro, I feel like that was the main adversity, man. And also too, to kind of go back to what D was saying, like, with his camera, like, you take a picture, then you get back to the computer, and it's like, fuck, this shit ain't what I thought I was shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what you gotta understand, D, is like, it ain't gonna be that if you only put 5 minutes into it. You know what I mean? Until we start getting to a point where we didn't had hella hours at something, like, you ain't gonna be good. You know what I mean?
Come on with everything. You coming, dog. You
Um,
coming with it.
no, that's Malcolm Gladwell, man. That's Malcolm
Yeah.
Gladwell. Fuck, what is the book called? Um, fuck, what he say? It's the 10,000 hour rule. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You got to put that 10,000 hours in. For me, and of course, you can't put 10,000 into everything, but you not, man. I learned on YouTube.
Yeah.
I learned on
YouTube.
YouTube. I got out the pen and learned on YouTube. I went and looked up a couple people and I was trying to like, oh, that don't work. I pause it, look at the camera,
Yeah.
hit play, go through the next
Yeah.
step, and I did that shit for months.
Yeah.
And I just went like, hey, mama, can I come to auntie party and just get on her nerves and take some pictures of her? I was practicing on auntie, practicing on my family. Feel me? Then it got to a point where it's like, hey, auntie, I don't shoot for free no more. I don't shoot for $100 no more.
Yeah.
$100 is gas money. My memory card costs $100. You know what I mean? Like,
Man,
it's serious now.
I hope the audience get to really listen to what you're saying, man, because that's what I'm talking about being unstoppable, right? Like you're doing whatever it's gonna take. Like nobody came and taught you. You want to taught yourself. Okay, let me use the things that's around me. Let me use the technology. I'm gonna use YouTube, right?
I definitely
And
had
it's
support.
simple.
I definitely had support. I definitely had people pitching in to me. For me, I don't want to say that. You know what I mean? I definitely had people pitching in to me, but it just take one of us deciding to do something every day, and you're gonna get good at it. I don't give a fuck what it is.
And that's the thing that I wanted to key in on is like what you said, it's doing it over and over again. It was something else that you said too earlier though. I forgot what it was. It was something about man, it slipped my mind. It probably come back, but it was something about well, I ain't gonna hold this up on that, but yeah, like the adversity thing though, right? So what was like? Okay, I know I heard you say you quit your job, right? But what was some of the stuff that you had to overcome when you did that? Like, cause like you were saying, 'cause I know you didn't probably instantly start making, like you were saying, you was practicing, so people wasn't.
Yeah, I
paying
wasn't getting no money like that, man. I was getting enough to pay for my Uber, and I need to say that I shot pictures for 2.5 years in an Uber.
Yeah. Okay.
So y'all was spending 300 with me. 75 of that went to the Uber. 25 went to food. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really get to see that. You know, I was in an Uber for 2.5 years. I ain't had no license. I ain't got my license till I was 33 years old, 34 years old. You know what I mean? I ain't never had no license. I've been riding around in an Uber to jobs. I need y'all to hear that too. Like I've been grinding. I've been wanting it that bad. You know what I mean? Even when I knew the money wasn't gonna be worth it, I still went. Cause I knew I was gonna be getting my brand up, and we here now.
Yeah, we here now. Wow, that's amazing, bro.
That's putting all that effort in there, man. And it's like you said, if you ain't getting up and going to work, you ain't looking for nothing. But if you getting up and the thing I like what you said was, it don't feel like it's a job. You're doing something that you love. When you're doing something that you love, you don't care. You will get up consistently every freaking day to go make sure you get that chicken because you love what you do. You know, so it's just like you said, you quit your job. How many of us right now are being entrepreneurs, but we still holding on to that safety net? I call it the safety net because at the end of the day, if you don't get up and go grind for your entrepreneurship, you ain't making no money, but you ain't tripping because you got a full-time job. But once you leave that full-time job and you go pour all your time and passion into your entrepreneurship, and you start getting that chicken, it's well worth it. Can't nobody tell you nothing. You your own man.
And shout out to my support system, man, that really allowed me to do that. Like I said, I did have to. That was part of the adversity, hearing them voices like, "Hey, man, what is you doing?" You know what I mean? Because needing to be the man of the house, needing to do more. You know what I mean? That is a real thing at my age. You know what I mean? So it's like, excuse me, trying to get to the point where it's not just a hobby, or I'm not just doing it, you know, for the feel goods. I'm actually able to get something from it. You know, that's been a blessing for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely, man. But I'm gonna hit you with this one because you kind of got onto it, and you know we were touching it, and you was talking about your process. But I want you, Trash Man, to walk me through your process from capturing that image to the final edit, baby.
One, I overshoot. So that picture that y'all seen, the picture that you want, I took like 9 of them pictures. And I picked, you know, and 4 of them was blurry. You know what I mean? Because I'm catching him moving. You know what I mean? He wasn't paying attention to me. You know what I mean? So that's the main thing is overshoot. You know what I mean? So if I go to an event, if I'm there for an hour, I might have 700-800 pictures. You know what I mean? If it's a basketball game, we looking at 2,000-3,000. You know, same with football. You know what I mean? So I gotta go through it and pick my photos. You know what I mean?
That's a grind.
No, absolutely. And it's sometimes I don't want to do that shit. Sometimes when I get back 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, I need to eat, I need to shower, I need to shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to look at them damn pictures because I know it's 2,000 on that thing. I'll be like, damn, like, man, and everybody hitting me. Everybody hitting me like they didn't send me some money. Ain't nobody send me no money, but they need their pictures right now. Like, man, I ain't even ate yet. It's a 45-minute drive. Gotta at least get some gas money or something, man. Like, damn. So
that's the adversity I'm talking about. Like you gotta push yourself because it's your baby though, right?
and you gotta want it, man. It's for me, man. It's for me. I feel like this ain't no really advice, but I'm gonna just put it out there because I feel like it's something that I go through. I could do your event, D, Shiny, right? And y'all could pay me, right? And you'd be like, DJ, take your time. Because y'all know I'm going to do the work. Take your time, bro. Get them to me when you get them to me. Of course, I ain't going to have you wait no damn month, but you might be giving me a week, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say I don't do the pictures for a week. And I don't never do that shit. But let's just say I was to not do the pictures for a week, right? And this is for my photographers and my videographers. What I learned is if I wait a week and send y'all the pictures, everybody that was there already posted their outfits, posted themselves having their shots and all that shit. So they're not posting that shit again.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how good the pictures is. I'm not putting that shit back on my timeline. So even though the client don't be rushing me, I'm still in a rush because I want to beat the traffic. I want to be the first thing that everybody's posting. You know what I mean? And it started getting to a point where I talk to the kids or whatever. They be like, bro, you killing me with this watermark. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take my logo off. Y'all just keep me lit. Keep tagging me. But I just know I got to be fast if I'm going to be pushing that line. You know what I mean? But
I don't like that part of it, though. You know what I don't want to take. I don't like that.
Man, what you mean?
Stamp it, man.
Stamp it. Because people going to run for it. But you know, I like what you said, man. If you gonna put a picture up, at least tag.
I know my work though. I don't be tripping. I know my work, and I just feel like if you wanted to post it and not tag me, I ain't mad at you. It is what it is, bro.
Check it out though, cause Joanne, right? He sent me the picture, and I'm
Universe
like,
gonna bless me.
I was like, Cuzzo, I sent you the, the clothing. I sent you the clothes. Say whenever you get a picture, and I'm like cool with us. Like whenever you take a picture, just shoot it to me. So I posted on my Instagram. So he finally took a picture in the hoodie. And I was like, man, that's a fire picture. Then he was like, oh, yeah, man, I was just with my guy, Treasure Vision. I'm like, dude, I think we going to interview him.
That's crazy. That's what's up.
Posted the hoodie. So when he told me, I was like, wait, I got to go back and edit this. And I put the little camera, and I said, bye, at Treasure Vision. Because I want to make sure people who go look at that photo know who took that picture.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I definitely was like, man, who the fuck is this that just posted me? Like, I don't even know who this is, but I'm like, that's what's up. Baby. I'll take that.
It's gonna happen a lot like that for you, man.
I was definitely juiced. For me, I was definitely juiced. And you know, I'm humble enough. Like, bro, I was tripping off it the other day, right? Cause I was like, fuck, I'm following way too many people, right? So I'm like, I was kind of like bored one day. I'm like, I'm finna start unfollowing people because I'm following way too many people. And I got to going through it, bro. It's hella kids. I got hella 9-year-olds with 60 followers. You know what I mean? Like, I'm their only followers for real. So I'm gonna keep them little dudes lit. Like, I'm not mad at what I'm basically saying. Like, I'm humble enough to fuck with my people. For me, like, all my followers is like really people that mess with me. For me, everybody that's following me at dinner, somebody I didn't had an interaction with. So I kind of like appreciate that part for me. But yeah, I was kind of laughing at myself. Like, I'm following way too many damn kids. Like, you know what I mean? And some of these kids ain't even playing ball no more. So I'm getting to the point where I'm posting. I'm like, hey, man, if you look like you gangbanging on your page, I'm unfollowing you because I don't follow gangbangers. I only follow athletes. So get it together, man. And they be all messaging me talking about they going to tighten up. But I'm like, man, what you mean it's off season? You better get your ass some pictures in the damn uniform.
You said you ain't letting gang follow.
What, man? I don't follow gang. Get that shit off my page. I hate seeing that shit on my timeline. I hate. I be like, this is a mistake. Who am I following that got this shit on my page? I instantly get to go and unfollow people.
See, you good, because I don't follow everybody, man. I be like, look, man, I don't need to be going on my page and then I'm seeing, you know, somebody auntie on there slinging that thing back and forth, and my wife is looking like, hey, who's that?
I ain't gonna
Don't be
I mean, but it's crazy. I really got
I-
hella kids on my. All I'm seeing is highlights, hella head tops, niggas getting ankles took and stuff. That's all I'm getting. And Money Hill Casino.
Yeah. Hey, but I ain't gonna lie though, right? Before I got on my journey, right? And I got a lot of Instagram models, right? From the past though.
Yeah.
Before I even, you know what I'm saying? Just because it is what it is, right? But when I start getting on my journey and I start following motivational speakers and things
Your algorithm gonna feed you that, bro.
Yeah, so I just want to touch on one thing, and I always talk about it. I ain't gonna be long-winded, but what I'm saying is, I got something to say about that. It's just the simple fact that the algorithm gonna feed you that, right? So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The first person to pop up on my Instagram when I wake up in the morning is ET, the hip hop preacher, right? That's somebody that D introduced, put on me. We put me on to, my brother put me on a podcast, right? That's how we came to create a podcast, though, right?
Yeah.
But what I want to say is, I got a lot of motivational stuff on my page. But every now and then, you might see her shaking.
For
right?
sure.
So my girl be like,
what's
man,
shaking, bro? What's shaking?
The cheeks.
Yeah, you ain't got that on the timeline. Ain't no way you got that on the timeline.
But what I'm saying is, because it's from the past, I never went in and deleted it, though.
Yeah.
Right? I get a couple of motivational things from the hip hop preacher. Then it's Inky like these are the guys that I follow. Then I get an Inky Johnson, and then and so on and so on. I get basically they whole entourage. That's who I listen to. Right? When I listen to podcasts, I listen to that stuff. But because they still in there, right? My girl look over. She said, every time I look at your phone, it's ass. This is old stuff. That's the old me. Still
that's
in
the
there.
old me. I'm healed, baby. I'm healed, baby. Tell her we healed,
so
man.
So you gotta go in there and start deleting.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be hard to delete. You know what I'm saying? But the algorithm. Yeah, but the algorithm is true though, right? Because I follow so much inspirational stuff. A lot of inspirational stuff flow through me. You know what I'm saying? When I'm scrolling.
No, for sure. I definitely believe it, bro. At first, I didn't really believe it, but I feel like lately, I was kind of laughing because I had one of the boys with me in the car. I'm like, man, like my timeline been blessing me. I ran across this dude named Don Tripp. He a rapper, bro. Gas. I don't listen to none of that crazy shit. For me, he was gas. I've been listening to him for like 2 weeks. And he just popped up on my timeline the other day for me. So it's like I only listen to like LaRussell and certain dudes. So
yeah. I was just about to say
that's I feel like the algorithm just kept like me in that little lane for me, and they just fed me, bro. And I've been following him ever since. For me, he kicked me out some stuff, but yeah, I feel like whatever you're doing. And it's funny, the algorithm kind of remind me of the universe, man. I feel like because I ain't on bullshit, I ain't been having to feel like I gotta have a hammer on me or no, you know what I mean? Like I don't be feeling like it's animosity. I don't gotta look over my shoulder. I don't be having no worries. I'll get out the car anywhere. For me,
that's the best thing.
And I still got my respect. So you know what I mean? I be able to. I ain't gonna say I can go anywhere, but I dare go wherever. You know what I mean? And I don't feel no kind of way. So that's also a blessing too for me, and that respect being mutual.
That's a heavy burden to bear though. Like when you gotta move like that though.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I told you, me and your backstory is similar. You know what I'm saying? And what I realized is once I really put that life, like keep pushing it behind me, right? And each day I'm learning, right? Each day I'm learning. But what I'm saying is a lot of that stuff, how I think, how I move, how I operate, I don't really move like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really have those certain worries though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, can somebody hurt me? Yeah, they could. It's possible. You know what I'm saying? But for me to be moving like I'm so militant and you know what I'm saying? Like I I done been caught in bad situations all the time just from being like that. You know what I'm saying, though?
For sure.
Like, just from moving like that. You know what I'm saying? And then thinking like that. Just what we talking about with the music. Just let me just share this. When we talking about with the music, I'm gonna tell you how the universe works, right? How music works. I love rap music. I got partners that's rappers. Don't get me wrong. I want to see them shine. I want to see them do their thing, right? But for me, what rap music does to me, right? Listen to 21 Savage, right? I like it. I like it. I like the beat he be riding it, but when he get the going on one, and I be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, yeah, yeah. You know, these your mood change, right?
Yeah.
Durkio, he got a smooth rhythm. You know, he ride the beat too, but he talking about blickies, 30s, you know, backdooring. But the melody and the beat, he just riding it so smooth, right? But you like, yeah, blicky, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you start to think like that. You feel me?
I want to kind of piggyback on that and go back to just for this moment. I want to go back to when I was locked up. And you know, I wasn't immediately on my journey. In that 12 years, I probably didn't start getting it together until about year 5, year 6, right?
Yeah.
And even then, I was still working because you're on the fence. You know what I mean? You're in an environment where it's like it's hard to be, you know, on a straight. I don't know how you could do all that time and not get no write ups. You know what I mean? I don't know how you could do it. I definitely didn't do it. You know what I mean? But what I'm getting at is I'll say about a year or two after one of Mozzie's first albums came out, I had heard it, and they actually had shipped me out of state. I was in Mississippi, right? And by the third song, I knew, because I was already kind of becoming self-aware. I knew that I couldn't listen to that shit. You know what I mean? Because exactly what you're saying. Feel me? So I hear you. Feel me? I'm definitely with you on that. I listen to a lot of R&B or a lot of conscious rap. You know what I mean? Because I know that shit is real and it can play with your mentality. You know what I mean? It's actually something that I respect and worried about.
Yeah. It changed your whole approach, right?
For sure.
And it's not about being weak-minded. It's about what you putting into your eardrums, into your body, into your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because like you touched on Mozzie, amazing artist, right? The guy can rap, right? But when I'm hearing it, right? When I'm hearing it, I'm like, dang, I really ain't trying to go down this dark alley. You know what I'm saying? Like the road that he's talking about, we done lived some of that stuff, and I'm just like, I ain't trying to go down that dark alley. Not even to the severity of what he rapping to, but there's similarities in there somewhere, right? And you can really put yourself in the shoes of the individual or what he talking about. Is like, because we from the hood, we come from that, right? And I'm just like, bruh, like if I get this thinking like this, something bad's gonna happen, right? I'll let this thing enter my whole soul and being, something's bad gonna happen, right? And I done been through too many bad things to let that happen. So just like earlier, right after we got off the phone, I think I hopped on TikTok Live. I'm listening to Maze and Frankie Beverly, right? That's my go-to. When the whole world was crumbling all around me, or when I'm just feeling good. Like today was a nice sunny day, right? I know I'm finna go out here and set my table up, hoping for the best, right? But I put on that Maze and Frankie Beverly, right? Throw my shades on. I'm like, smooth vibration. I'm vibing. You feel me? I ain't got not a negative thought in my mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I kind of want to stay. Like even when I get angry and upset, you feel me?
I want to be able to get back to that
go
space.
find that spot. Yeah, I gotta try to go back to that spot because I know how destructive I can be. And it ain't about hurting nobody else. I'm damaging myself. You feel me?
Sure.
The way I'm thinking, the way I'm moving. Because I'm feeling like today's gonna be a bad day. If I'm moving like I don't give a care about nothing, right? It's gonna spread. That's the energy, like you were talking about the universe. That's the universe that you created around yourself. That's your whole aura, your whole being. You feel me?
Sure, for sure.
So I try my best to stay in the right algorithm, right? Like I tell you, first thing to pop on is ET. He preaching to me. You ain't doing it right. or you gonna get it right, or you better get it right. You know what I'm saying? And he telling you firmly and strongly. So I need to hear that, right? And sometimes my girl be like, man, you just listen to that 10 times, right? In a row. Like, nigga,
Like
listen
I'm
to me.
trying to
She
lock
said, you
in.
listen to that thing 10 times in a row. I said, the way my mind is designed, it has to be beaten in, right? Because I'm already thinking of it's in there already. Like my brother say, if it's in there, it's gonna eventually come out. So as I'm listening to it over and over again, I'm pounding it in there. Like, you not coming out. You finna get some of this E.T., some of this Inky Johnson. I even listen to women motivational speakers, right? Anybody that's talking positive, that's talking about being inspired, even if I'm not there yet where they at. You feel me? I want to get there.
That's actually another reason why I work the way that I do, bro. Because I'm trying to undo 12 years of bad habits.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I didn't have this work ethic before. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to build this up to where this is like a thing. I was actually talking to one of my partners the other day about this. I was like, man, can you imagine yourself without a job? He was like, no, right? And what I meant by that is like, I grew up where it was like all the older dudes around me, if they lost their job, it was just like, all right, I lost my job. It wasn't a panic to get another one. Today, that is not the world. For me, a lot of grown-ups is like, hey, I need a job, and they ain't gonna understand what they gonna do without one. You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is like, now I'm trying to teach myself that is the normal. Because before I went to prison, the longest job I ever worked was for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? So it was like that is you know, it's as far as experience, I basically had none. You know what I mean?
Relate though. Yeah, I can relate though. I can totally relate. And I just want to share my experience about the job thing. I was just talking about this yesterday to one of my childhood friends. He's doing super phenomenal, and we talked for 2 hours, right? And what I'm saying, that's what I told him is, I said, bro, I'm gonna always show up to work. Like, before I do anything else, you hear me? Because I know if I don't, what'll happen. It's a lot. You feel me? Like, if I lose my job, right? I know what can happen. It's a slippery slope, right? So I make sure I show up. I make sure that I'm doing all I can do to stay there. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm slacking, they might have to talk to me a little bit. Hey, get back on. You feel me? I might have to get back on. Well, what I'm saying is, I'm never ever not gonna show up. Right? No excuses. Like, I can be having the worst morning in the morning. I'm gonna show up to the job. I drag myself in there, right? Because that's my safe haven. Like, it just don't pay me, right? It keep me out of a lot of crap. I don't have to be in the streets making money, right? I show up there, I get paid a fair pay, right? And I can get some overtime, right? I got my entrepreneurship going on. I can make, right? So what I'm saying is, I had to learn that, right? I fell off, right? I went back to the streets, right? And when I got back, right, and geared to work again, I said, I'm never going to stop working. I went and got 2 jobs because I felt like the money, right, is what I'm most attracted to, right? As long as I'm able to take care of myself, feed myself, right, have some money in my pocket, right, I was going to be all right. I was going to figure it out from there. But if you don't have nothing, right, like you said,
for real,
no walking around without no income, right, you're gonna get hungry. And you probably gonna do something that's unruly. You feel me? So I never wanted to be put in that position. So some people be joking about, oh yeah, you going to go back to work. I'm gonna stay at work.
Sure.
Right? I'm gonna stay grinding. And then I'm gonna stay at work so I don't have to clock in on me. Right? So that's why we working on our brands. Us three we right now, we building brand, right? So we won't have to forever hustle and bustle. You know what I'm saying? And we sharing experience with people right now. That's whoever's gonna listen to this, right? And letting them know, like, we gonna go through it too. We've been through the ups and downs too. But the difference is between a person that's gonna give up and a person that's not gonna give up, right? That's the only difference. If you give up, you ain't getting nothing. You know what I'm saying? But if you keep going, right, no matter what, like you said, you took Ubers to your gigs. A lot of cats ain't want to do that. They gotta leave that money on the table,
For
bro.
real, bro. For real.
You see what I'm saying? Like, then that's that unstoppablеism. That's that dog. Like, man, you seen it already.
I already
Nobody,
knew.
right? You feel me though? You already know. You like, this is gonna work, right? No matter. And you said you had support, so I'm not gonna say that. But it's like whoever falls off, they fall off. I see the end game. You feel me?
For sure.
So that's why you hopped in that Uber. That's why you took that little pay cut, that 75 here to the Uber, and I'll take the change. You know what I'm saying, though?
Sure.
And that's what you gotta have. You gotta have vision. Treasure, vision.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy, though. All right. I know y'all can get long-winded, y'all, so I'm gonna let y'all have at it, man.
No, man. Like I say, I'm thankful for y'all, man. This was definitely dope. I wasn't expecting y'all to get me even thinking like, about like, as far as like adversity and the hard parts of it. 'Cause now it's actually getting me like grateful for what a nigga didn't had to, withstand to keep going. 'Cause, I feel like we all got reasons to quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all could give ourselves justifications on why we shouldn't be doing something or why we, could do something else. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to all the unstoppable people.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
Hey, Treasure, my last thing for you, man. Bro, you got long-winded, bro.
I know, bro. I always do.
No,
I'm practicing too.
I'm gonna let you take it out with this one, man. Cause like you said, you was gone for a little bit of time. When you came home, you found your niche on this video / photography. Well, you say you don't want to do videos, but your photography, man. So if another little young man, young individual came up to you and asked you, how would they get started, man? What would you let them know on how to get that gift or that love for photography, if that's something that they wanted to do?
The first thing I would say is the perfect picture is the one that you like. There are so many different styles of pictures. You know what I mean? So it's like we could all take the same picture and it could be edited, by hella different people, and you could like each one of them. And I think as a photographer, once you understand that, you get to understand it like, okay, I get to pick my style. So pick your style and be good at your style. You know what I mean? And get better at your style, obviously, you know what I mean? But pick your style and be good at your style. That's what I would say. Like I've got to a point, and I had to have a grown man tell me this, and like hurt my feelings for real. He's like, you're never going to be the best photographer. There's too many 15-year-olds out here doing this shit, with their eyes closed. You know what I mean? So it's like, you need to just be the best at your niche. So that's another thing I would say. Be good at what you're doing. You know what I mean? If you want to go to the mall and ask people what's the best shoes out or what's the worst shoes out, then, do it to the best of your abilities and make sure your outfit is nice and you got a good mic and whatever the hell. But be serious about what you're doing and kind of like help people to identify you. That's my business advice for a photographer. Help people to identify what the hell you're doing. If I'm podcasting, if I'm doing videos, if I'm doing dance videos, you don't know who the hell I am. But y'all know Treasure Vintage is a photographer. For sure. If y'all don't know nothing else. You know what I mean? So be identifiable. Make your brand identifiable. And then start branching off.
Hey, what they say, one thing at a time. Don't get involved in too many things where you can't accomplish one thing.
For sure.
Because it ain't easy.